Hello, hello, and welcome to session two. We're going to talk about building your foundation in the planner. So, this here is we're going to actually talk about your story, your mission, your vision, your values. This is the part of the planner where sometimes people want to rush through to get the business stuff done, but I'd encourage you to slow down here because your mission and values are what make every offer and every piece of content you create later feel authentic instead of generic. So we're going to walk through pages 13 through 20 of the planner, and this here starts turning your dream into actual business foundation. So your story, your your mission, their vision, your values. This is the part of the planner where sometimes, like I said, people want to rush through it to get the business stuff done, but I encourage you to slow down because your mission and your values are what makes every offer and every piece of content you create authentic. So, well, so building this here, the line of the divider page says it best. When your foundation is clear, everything else becomes easier. Before we talk about offering offers or marketing, we need to nail down your story, your mission, your vision, your values. Think of this section as pouring the concrete before you build the house. It's not the most exciting part of the process, but skipping it is exactly why so many businesses feel wobbly or generic. So let's build this the right way. So when we talk about your story is your strength, your experience. It is your edge. This page asks you to reflect on your life experiences that have shaped you on who you are today, the challenges that you have overcome, the lessons you've learned that could help someone else, and what made you decide to build something of your own. There's also a prompt for you for what you want people to know about you. And at the bottom, write your business story. Just a few sentences that tell the story you'll use in your bio, your about page, and even your content. Your story doesn't need to be dramatic to be powerful. It just needs to be real because your story is what's going to make someone else's story matter more is you connecting. So with us being in a trusted economy, we people have to know, like, and trust you. And as I have been in the online space for 2 years now, there's been a shift, and a lot of it is people are more drawn to communities. So that's something else we'll talk about later on in other training sessions. But that is one thing that I have noticed as well throughout that. So, your transformation. Every story needs a beginning, a turning point, and a new direction. And yours is no different. This page has you map out your own transformation across three columns. Before, what did life, money, confidence, or time look like before? Then you have the turning point. What happened or when did you realize something had to change? And then you have the now part. What are you building or becoming today? There's a reflection question underneath. How can your transformation give someone else hope? I want you to sit with that for a moment. And I want you to sit on that question because your transformation story is one of the most powerful marketing assets you will have. Remember the line on this page. Your past is not your prison. It's your platform. So like for me, I I want to help single moms, empty nesters, women over 50 find out what their worth is and give them the encouragement that they need to live the life that they've always dreamed of. And that is another reason why I created this planner is to help as many people as I can make that transformation because you how do I say it? Everybody has a story. I was a single mom for 19 years, became an empty nester. While I was raising my son, I went through two battles of breast cancer. My became an empty nester. My son's off married and creating his life with his wife, and just got the news that I'm going to be a grandma, and then I thought I was going to still continue in corporate America and made a move from Indiana to Tennessee, and it didn't work out. So there is so many, and I know there's people that can resonate with me, but my biggest thing I will tell you is from my cancer journeys, life is too short. That is something I realized, and that was something else that transformed me is I had to learn to love myself again. So this here, by putting this together, that's how I dug so deep because I know there's other women out there that have been through a lot of things, a lot of struggles, and they need to have that confidence, that encouragement. And I am here to back you 100%. Now that you have purchased the planner, going through the trainings and things like that, I am available to you. There, my email, you have my email. Send me an email, questions that you need, because I am here to help as many people as I can. And I have also, with learning what I have learned from the blueprint that I purchased, the Legacy Builder, I have now wrote books. I have a TikTok channel. Now it's Carrie. It's Coffee Talks with Carrie. I wrote a book on Coffee Conversations with Carrie, Finding Yourself Again. It's 90 days. You read every day, there's something to read. And also on my TikTok channel, I give you something to think about as well. I already got book two. It's wrote. It's in the editing process right now. So I'm here to help women, encourage women, and I want you to know what your worth is. So enough rambling about me. So let's go on to your mission statement, which is on page 16. Your mission explains who you help, what you help them do, and why it matters. So I've already kind of maybe some of my backstory. This page gives you the actual formula to plug in your answers into. I help blank achieve blank through blank so they can blank. What is their problem? And what do you do to solve? What's the results? What results do I want to help them create? And why does this matter to me? Write a few different versions if you need to before landing your final mission statement. When your mission is clear, your impact becomes powerful. And just as importantly, every decision you make from here forward gets easier because you can run it through this one sentence. So your one sentence is I help whoever blank achieve blank through blank so they can blank. That is your mission statement. And this is something that you will use over and over and over again. So, your vision statement, there's an important distinction on this page that I want to highlight. Your mission is what you do now, your vision is the future you're working to create. So, this page has you answer questions like what impact do I want my business to make? What do I want this business to look like in 3 years? How many people do I hope to help? What freedom do I want this business to create? What do I want my brand to be known for? Then write your vision statement at the bottom. A clear vision statement today creates a fulfilled legacy tomorrow. This is the sentence that's going to guide the goals we set later in the planner. So make sure it actually excites you when you read it out loud. So if it does not excite you, your vision statement, then it's not the right vision statement for you. So make sure that your vision statement excites you as you read it out loud. Your core values. So, your core values are non negotiables that guide your decisions, your actions, and the way you serve others. On this page, you will see a list to choose from: integrity, authenticity, courage, faith, simplicity, growth, community, reliability, compassion, excellence, honesty, empowerment. Or you can write your own. Circle what your top 5 are. Then in the table below, write each value, what it means to you personally, and how you'll actually show up living it in your business. I want you to point out the commitment line at the bottom. I will not sacrifice these values for growth, attention, or income. That's the whole point of doing this exercise now, before you're under pressure to compromise. So make sure that you take your top 5, write them in the table below, and write each value and what it means to you personally, and how you're actually going to show up living it in your business. That is your commitment. Your commitment line is, I will not sacrifice these values. I will not. So then you have your unique values on page 9. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be you. That's the energy of this page. The prompt asks, what life experiences do I bring? What professional knowledge do I have? What do people come to me for help? What perspective makes me different? What do I understand because I've lived it? And what do I do in a way that feels uniquely mine? Then write your unique value statement using the format. I, uniquely qualified to help because what? This is the page that kills comparison for good, because it proves on paper, in your own words, that nobody else can offer exactly what you offer. What makes you different is what makes you valuable. And I know, working in corporate America, where you've gone and done the same thing over and over and over again, it becomes so familiar to you that you don't even realize what values you have. And this is another one for you to dig deep, because something you've done over and over and over again can be something that somebody else needs. So we're going to close out part 2 the same way we did part 1, with a pause, a reflection, pause, reflect, celebrate. You have a story. You have a purpose. You have something valuable to offer. This page asks you to reflect on what you've discovered so far, the most meaningful part of your story, the people I feel called to help, the value I will build my business around. One thing I know now and understand about my purpose, and one action I'll take before moving forward. Notice the reminder at the bottom of the page. Your setbacks are not baggage. They're part of your story. Fill this page out honestly before moving on, because in the next section, we're going to take everything you just clarified about yourself and turn it into your dream customer. So that wraps up session 2, and we'll move on to session 3 about know your dream customer. So until next time, have a blessed day.